Hello, everyone. And hell, the act hasn't it Dan so far. Yes, the cover is pretty obvious on the note. Funny enough, I designed the ideas for the Shadow Dracons first. Out of all the alternate dragons I did, I wanted to do an owl dragon for the entire series. I didn't have a proper name for him, hence the reason I just named Shadow Dracon and then went with the Goetia Dracon. And so I flip back and forth on the idea. I don't mind changing it permanently to the Goetia because that's essentially what I've done is I've created the Goetia in MLP. Not Hazbin Hotel or Helva Boss's take on Goetia. Yes, I know he's named after Stolas, but that was less a reference to that show and more just a reference to the character in general, okay? And I also wanted to go out of my way to go for like a very different vibe when it came to sorry, when it came to showing off Stolas. I didn't want to just do Helva Boss's Stolas. Okay? I wanted to do my own take, so I went with like what could be the most unique take I could do that's also different from the other Dragon Lords? I know, Stoner. Kinda. He's probably my most abstract take on a character I've ever done in a long time. Is that on one side, he's a stoner, on the other side, he is extremely aggressive toward Spike. And yet also very passe. I mean, did you see the bonus chapter? I would just. He just. That chapter was originally going to be longer. But the more I worked it, the more I realized it's just funny to have it keep going and not dig into the details of it. Have Spike and Smolder just like in utter awe and confusion, like, really? Are you really doing this right now? We're in the middle of a conversation, dude. It's like, yeah, I wanted to do a funny bonus chapter for a while too, so I figured why not do it with him? I'm definitely not doing it for the final one day because yeah, the final bonus chapter is coming up for the next act, okay? And there's just so much I want to go over in Act 12 in general. It's not one of my all-time favorite acts, but apparently it is for you guys. Holy shit, I am looking at the views, okay? I've been staring at this view count all fucking day and all fucking day yesterday. Holy shit. January the 7th has been my highest view count this story has ever had, period. And it's by a massive fucking margin. Before this point, highest was roughly 300 something, okay? That's not a rarity. Most of the chapters would be around 100, 200. 200 plus on a really good day. Record breaking at 300. But 6 fucking hundred? Holy shit. I don't know what to say, guys. That's insane for a single day of viewing. The series has always been one of my higher view stories, mostly due to the one day format where I post one day and then post another day, another day, another. I'm not taking monthly breaks from this series. And even when I did, back in July, that is some of my lowest ratings for obvious reasons. I'm not going to wait for that damn thing to load. Still, damn. 600. And all the other chapters that day have been pretty good rating wise too, dang. We've got 200, 100, 145, 173, 156. Like 100 plus is an easy average for this series, okay? I mean, for at least every chapter. There's the occasional 250, or maybe I'll rarely break 300, but damn. 600. Oh, shit. And that's just for a single day, folks. I'm not sure how it looks on your side, That's how it looks on my side. 640, is it 646? Yeah, 646. And then 52 for today. Not bad. Day's just barely starting over here. It's roughly noon. I would laugh out loud if that thing hit at least another 100 by the end of the day, if not another 200. Because, wow. And it's not like a lot of you guys just abandoned ship during the last few days and just suddenly surged up during that final chapter. It's not even a big chapter. Bloody hell. It's not even when the chapter came out, okay? The final chapter came out January the 6th. And then there's that 600 plus on January the 7th. Ow! And it's not because the bonus chapter is that good. Bonus chapter. Barely 46 views. Not that bad, okay? We look back to the previous bonus chapter. Let's see if I can find it on here. I've packed so many freaking chapters together. I think that, yeah, is 82. Decent enough, but you look at really early bonus chapters, like the very first bonus chapter I put down sits at single viewing, single chapter, bloody hell, 3,626 total on that one. That's a total, okay? I'm talking about a single day of viewing is 646. I'm trying to say 666 for some reason. It's such a weird combo, okay? I just had to tell you guys that up front because holy shit, that's insane. And for those wondering, monthly, if I go by whole monthly, especially in the last few, from September to December, all of them have been near 3,000 each. In fact, two of them are at least beyond 3,000. I can only wonder what January's view count going to be with that freaking 600 there. uh, anyway. So, let's go over what happened during Act 12. We start off with a really big chapter, that being Chapter 100, Consensus. Consensus. I did a sort of a pun there because it's a chapter on Sin himself, okay? Syndicate, the Dragon Lord of Sands, alright? Sand Emperor, okay? He is finally here. He gets his own chapter for Chapter 100. I wanted to do that for a while to show off every single of the wives, including the newest one, which we still haven't been revealed yet, and we'll be edging that final reveal if you guys hadn't already figured it out, okay? I'm certain a few of you guys have figured out who I'm choosing, okay? Let's see, did I go into detail what she looks like? Let's type in. No, I don't think so. Nope. Maybe I didn't name it in that color. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just assume that I didn't tell you what she looks like. Hopefully I didn't tell you what she looks like, because that's a massive giveaway, especially considering how I'm handling her husband. Because, yes, she is married to that other creature, the Red Horn. Red Horn, we're getting so many more details in this mysterious character who holds the bell, who offered the bell to Sin, and then Sin used it. Also, the bell is Grogar's bell! I forgot I mentioned that. Yes. So, yeah, while this series seems so separate from a lot of my MLP stories, it's a totally separate universe for my SLC, for my SWWC, for my Journey of the Heart Swimming. It's separate from all those stuff, but I'm still making Grogar references. So yeah, from the beginning, the bell was always planned to be Grogar's bell. I didn't want to reveal the bell right away. I kind of had a hard time showing it off in earlier chapters. But yeah, it was always meant to be his bell. Also note that they're needing help taking care of some ice trolls. Sorry, trolls in general. And note that Blue Blood is using a lot of elemental magic based around trolls, but the characters in the distant past wanted to get rid of the trolls. That will be important, especially in the sequel series, okay? Dragon Maid 2 will dip heavily on the connection of the trolls and why Blue Blood keeps using them. What is their connection to Sin and the original ponies of this world? Also, I love that I got some dynamic down for each of the wives. While I wasn't exactly clear on certain details, I am glad to get this out of the way and say that, yeah, Legato and, I cannot pronounce that last word. Whatever. Fixu. Sorry, Fixu. Legato and Fixu had this sort of budding rivalry akin to Rarity and Applejack. I'm not a fan of Rarity and Applejack as a ship, but I don't mind shipping them in different formats. Again, I'm really liking the name Wolf. It works well for the Pinkie Pie analog. As far as it seems, yes, we are missing the Rainbow Dash analog. And that's the final wife, obviously. But she's not exactly a bar per bar exact clone of Rainbow Dash to a T. Wolf, very similar to Pinkie Pie. Legato, extremely similar to Applejack. Felix, not so much with Rarity, but you get the idea with that one. And Yorm, there's definitely connections with Fluttershy there. But that's just the first chapter. So much to cover on that. But then finally, we arrive at the final area, the Black Dome. And this is something I've wanted the original show to do for a long time, especially when we introduced characters in Season 7. A sort of alternate council of the main six. And basically showing off what an original world would look like before the main six. That's essentially what I'm doing here with the Black Dome. They have their own map table. They have their own library. They have connections and stuff directly linking to the elements of friendship. But for them, it is dragons. And because they are dragons, they are older. They are the original. That's what I wanted to establish with this dome realm. A sort of inverse of colors. It's the original version of reality. And ponies have just been not really copying it, but more like inspired by it. That's especially going to be prominent in the big battle next act between, I'm going to go and spoil this. We're going to have Stolas versus Blue Blood. And damn, that is not, if not one of the best battles of the whole damn series, okay? That is going to be one of the best battles. Because action-wise is one thing, but character-wise, he is utterly going to destroy everything about Blue Blood's character, break it down even more than it already has been. Showing that, yes, Blue Blood has done some horrible, monstrous acts in this thing. But the worst part about him is yet to be revealed. And that's his denial. And that will be dipped and torn and ripped to shreds in the next act. Okay? It's going to be so good. Let's see, what else did I cover? I'm trying to remember what else I did this season. Oh, yeah. Songbird. Out of all the singer characters in My Little Pony, the celebrity actresses, because I always wanted it to be a celebrity, okay? I knew up front I needed the final Dragon Lord to be a sort of inverse mirror to Spike, having a relationship with a pony. But where it's rarity with Spike, it's a random celebrity with him, and I'm like, what celebrity should I use? I need it to be a prominently big pony in the main Equestria world. So I thought, Songbird, she's perfect. I love her design. The fact she's a full-on just human in pony format, much like a cheese sandwich. Very much inspired by the actress to a fucking T. Like, if you've seen images of the actress that did the voice for Songbird, it's just straight up the same damn person. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It's the same damn person in Equestria, okay? It's the same damn shit they did with Cheese Sandwich. So now I can say she fucked a dragon, just like Weird Al Yankovic said he fucked a pony. Because when the end of MLP came and we got to glimpse into the future of the proper show, and we saw that Pinkie Pie married Cheese Sandwich, Weird Al Yankovic said he fucked a pony. Because Pinkie Pie is his wife, apparently. I got a good laugh out of that when he said that online. Anyway. Nothing extremely big outside of those points happened this arc, okay? We got some unusual takes for Shiva. He is acting odd. You guys might have already figured out what's going on there. Maybe you haven't. But I will say this much. One major thing that I nearly included in Act 12's bonus chapter was an additional scene. I decided to make it its own chapter, but I had an additional scene planned for this bonus chapter that was going to basically take everything we've known from the whole Shiva arc and flip it on its head. And not in the way you're thinking. No. Not in the way you're thinking. But at the same time, yeah, kinda. Act 13 is where everything from Shiva's arc to this arc to previous arcs comes together to explain so much. Okay? Especially the early chapters, Dan. There is so much detail I don't want to spoil, okay? And we're going to get explanations on some explanations on why Blue Blood does the troll thing. We're going to get explanations of what happened on the throne room. Why is it covered in blood? We're going to get explanations on what the Red Horn's plan is for Spike, and so on. We're also going to get a massive explanation, and I mean massive explanation, on why Garble stole the skull. Yes, folks, we're getting that big answer right there in plain sight. I am so hyped for Act 13. And I almost spoiled it by putting a scene in the tail end of the bonus chapter. I decided not to at the very last minute, literally on the moment of posting. I'm like, yeah, this scene would not fit as it is hard here. It would hit hard later because I know there are some people skipping the bonus chapters. I would be skipping the bonus chapters because I've told you before, while I write this shit for you guys, certain things I don't like writing in general, and that being that explosive shit. I'll write it for you, but as time goes on, I'm not really enjoying the explicit shit. I'm still going to write it for you, folks. Don't worry. I've got no problem still writing it for you. The hell did I just say? Oh, okay. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Anyway. What can we look forward to for Act 13? I already said a bunch of random shit. But Act 13 and the final act will be a rapid fire of story events. They are going to be completely covering the whole damn bit of the final battle. Okay? Both acts are. It's going to be really hard to work in the bonus chapter, but I've got a really cool way of doing it. And basically, it's just going to be a flashback. Because why the fuck not? We're in the final act. We're in the final part of the story. Let's do a flashback. I know it's been a long time since I did a flashback. So, yes, folks, you will be seeing Rarity again. In her proper form, not as a fucking corpse. And Blazes, I'm so hyped. Anything else I missed from this? The library was a good little reference to Twilight. There's a lot of parallels with Twilight, Sin, Spike, and the main six. Also, a few of these chapters coming up are going to be on the bigger range. In particular, the battle between Stolas and Blue Blood was nearly one of my longest chapters ever. But then I realized the tail end of that is like, nah, that doesn't all. I can shrink it down to being exclusively a battle about Blue Blood and Stolas and have that be the chapter. And everything else happening around that scene can be their own chapters. You'll see what I mean when you get there, folks. We're in the home stretch. We are so close to finishing this story. Also, yes, I do love that cover. I love that scene of Avatar. It's so funny. Wang Shitong. I almost wanted to name Stolas that, but then I thought, nah, it would force me to do a library vibe of him, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do some library references, obviously, given the Twilight and the Spikist of it. Spikist. Spikist, the blaze. I gotta make that a fucking word.